What's going on, everyone? As I'm editing this video, I just want to throw a disclaimer in here. I am not a professional mechanic or a filmmaker for that matter. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to our channel. We got some more action stuff coming this week that'll be dropping. Hope you guys look forward to it. We'll see you later. What's going on, everyone? So today we're going to be changing out the ball joint on this side and as well to our steering rack. Finally get this thing repaired, back up and rolling. We're going to show you guys a few things along the way. I'll have the camera rolling the whole time. However, may fast forward to shorten the length a little bit there for you. And we'll show you the key objects that you're going to need to know. So stay tuned. Let's get this thing fixed up. All right, let's start by getting these wheels off. Now, here's the one downfall of portals. I guess probably have to do it with portals as well, or without, but we're gonna have to get this bracket to pop off the top ball joint and get the axle out of here so we can get enough room to get that lower ball joint in. So let's start working on getting that off. We'll go from there. Cotter pin out of here. Let's see. Let's see. Give us enough. All right. Got a little movement. There we go. All right. Now we just gotta get that nut off there. There it is. So that is a 41 millimeter. Now, see if the old Craftsman has got enough oomph to get that to come off. I'm gonna go with no. All right. That should do. Now, just need the equalizer. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Boy. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. WD-40. Get a little. And we need to get a little loosening in there. See if I... All right. See if we can get some of that in there. Oh. Come on, Ken. Come on. There we go. There's a little coming. There we go. Get it up in there. You can just help a guy out. Help a guy out. So let's go ahead. That get a little going in here. All right. Give that a second to sit in there. Let's see. It's the Hail Mary. See if a fresh battery. I'm going to say no, given that as it's a Craftsman. But you don't know unless you try it. Yeah. It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. This might be a whole video on just how to get this damn nut off. You know what might be good? A little heat if we had some. Damn. She is locked. All right. So some of you may be able to tell today's a new day, and we ended up getting this off. Now, I didn't film it, but just to give you guys the lowdown on what ended up doing the trick to get this bad boy off here, we ended up soaking it overnight in some PB Blaster, just coated the whole thing, tried to pop it off with the breaker bar, and then ultimately had to give it some heat, and then it finally came off. So now that that's out of the way, let's continue on with the next steps. All right, gotta get this brake caliper off. Actually, 14. Make that loose. And the bottom one here. All right. And ultimately, I forgot to explain this yesterday, what we're aiming to do here, we are just trying to get to this cover plate to remove that and undo the locking nut that's on the axle coming in. That way we can move that completely out of the way and get our bottom ball joint in. So now this should come off pretty easily. These brakes are pretty shot. All right. Do a little cleanup while we're in here afterwards. All right. With that out of the way, next comes the fun part of trying to get this to pop off. So this piece right here is just pressed onto there. This is the whole entire basically hub that your wheel mounts onto with the obviously the brake rotor here. So try and get this thing popped off, which should probably be fun. So ooh, that looks stripped out. Put these back on here. Lovely. All right, so since the bottom part here is not attached, which sometimes you could just mount the tire back on here and give it a pry off and shimmy this thing loose. But fortunately enough, we have this tool here, which acts as a puller, as long as we can get a good bite through 2 of these holes. So we're gonna give that a try, see how it goes. So, with the proper bolts locked in there, we're able to free that, pop it right off, even with our no ball joint at the bottom. So now we can proceed to take this cover plate off. We'll undo the nut for the axle. That way we can pretty much remove this whole bracket to get the lower ball joint in and not be impacted by the axle in the way here. At the same time, we may go ahead and just start working on getting the steering rack here out of the way, as that needs to be changed too. So we'll undo all that and keep plugging away. Oh, looks good. All right. All right. What's going on, everyone? So, terrible at videoing this whole entire task, but I know we got some clips from the beginning of it. However, something shut off and I forgot to turn it back on. So we're gonna catch you guys back up here real quick. So we've got the lower ball joint here on the passenger side on, which wasn't too bad. We did have to, which we had to take off anyways, take off the steering rack up here in order to get the angle enough to where we could get the axle slid out back that way, and then kind of shimmy the upper and lower ball joint on at the same time while angling the axle in there to make it the easiest for us. So got that on there, everything is good. And as you'll notice, we also got our steering rack in there. This is basically just an OEM one that we've swapped back in there. Here is our original, well, not original, this is actually a Super ATV one. As you can see, it's got a bit of use, and it has been beat and abused quite a bit. However, finally, everything in there just looks like got too much mud, too much water, too many times, rusted out, and ended up getting broke. So, got this one back in. I'll maybe explain at a later point exactly why we didn't go with another Super ATV one and just went to this basically stock one again. But we're gonna do some testing with it. We've got a big ride coming up at Hog Waller with a bunch of the guys. So we'll add in some clips of the riding, and ultimately here's the finished product. We're gonna go ahead and get the wheels and stuff slapped back on. Hopefully everything is pretty straight as far as steering alignment goes. If not, we'll adjust it, but that's a wrap.